everybody, and welcome to my life lately. So today I am doing a fun little video that I don't normally do. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make these sprout bookmarks. Now I, of course, went through Canva and I set it all up. So you can either do regular bookmarks like I did with pictures, or you can take some white paper and two-sided vellum and just take one side of vellum and put a white piece of paper and then another side of vellum. So that way, if you don't have printing abilities for pictures, then this could also be a really cute one to do with just vellum alone. So you definitely have a good bit of, you can make pretty much any kind of bookmark. It does not have to be pictures, but I do go kind of through what all I did on Canva, just so that you guys can kind of see. I will be doing a little bit of a voiceover in this video, just because if you can hear, my littlest is just bouncing away on the high chair at the moment, so it does kind of get a little noisy in this house. But I got a few people who had asked me for this video, so bear with me. I have never tried to explain crocheting to somebody before, so I'm sorry if the crochet tutorial is not all what you were hoping for, but I know there are other videos on like plant leaves in general. I just did mine just the slightest bit differently, so that way it can go right next to each other, as well as if it's not laying absolutely perfect for you, you can take some of your extra string and just tie it through these back ones, and then that way it will lay properly. I mean, obviously it's to your own preference, but I do like how the sprouts kind of just look so cute. I don't know how to explain it. I just love it. So yeah, so bear with me, as this is my first tutorial, even with other things. I've only done really planning videos and vlogs, so I hope you guys enjoy, and let me know in the comments down below if you plan on trying this for yourself. So in Canva, you're going to want to hit create, and then in the search bar, you're going to want to hit bookmark. So it'll come up with a blank slate or blank template, and you can go ahead and use one of the templates that are available, or you can use it like I did, where you jump into your gallery and you fill it up with all the pictures that you want, and then you have your bookmark. And then what I did is I took that one bookmark and I made another template of a letter size document, and that way I could put multiple bookmarks down. And with this, you could make, multiple different bookmarks, or you can do two of the same and put them back to back. So that way you have a double-sided bookmark. Really, the options are endless. Now I have a bunch of them that I'm going to be giving away to some family, so that's why I did multiples of the same exact bookmark. But yeah, you just take that and you print it out, and I did it on printer paper, so it's a little shiny, but you can totally do this with normal paper as well, and I think it'll look just as good. Alrighty, so if you hear a bunch of noises in the background, I apologize. Kobe is jumping and having a good old time on her little jumper. So and it's a snow day today, so I have all three girls home, but I wanted to get this video uploaded for you guys. That way it'll be up as soon as I can possibly get it. So obviously you don't have to have glossy paper to do this, because it honestly feels just as thin as normal paper, and maybe just the slightest bit thicker. But if you also want more structure to your bookmark, you can use like something like this. So this is just an extra card from the Coffee Monsters Co. Now, mind you, you'd have to figure out your bookmark size and whatnot, because like for mine, I wouldn't be able to do this facing upwards. So this one isn't going to be something that I'm going to use, but it's just an idea. If you also don't have a laminator, you can use something like this. It'll make it a little bit thicker. But I am going to go ahead and do these with some vellum paper here. So I have this one, which I really like. I really love the butterflies and I like the colors. And then I'm not sure exactly which one I want to do, but then I have this one, which is like kind of a match to the one that's currently in my planner, like the lookout scene for my reading journal. So I thought this one might be cute, at least for one of them. You can kind of mix and match, or you can just go ahead like and literally just glue it down and then cut them out individually. Whatever you feel works better for you. I've even thought about that, just choosing this one and going with it, but you'd also have them sort of upside down. So I think that's where I'm going to do these ones with this print here, and then possibly this bottom one with this print. But I also even have like a bunch of others. Like I have so many leftover vellum paper from sterling ink that I think would look really pretty. And so I thought about doing like one of each. But honestly, you guys might be wondering why I did so many of the same bookmark. And that is because I plan on giving them at least these two for sure as gifts. And I think my daughter said she wanted one, but we'll see. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cut out these bookmarks. I want to give a little bit of extra room on the sides, not much, but a little bit of white space. So I'll go ahead and take my little cheat cutter, I call it, because it literally is like cheating. And then we're gonna go ahead and just cut this out. Now, I always feel like this is just slightly off, so I'm not exactly sure. Sorry, please excuse my nose. We are just going through it here at this house. See, yeah, it's like crooked. I don't know. And I want to leave a little more room on the top to create the... Okay, you know what? We're just going to cut out this one first. How about that? Make my life a little easier here. I don't know how much I want to take off. So that's where this part gets a little difficult for me, is I don't know how much I want to take off. And it's like once you start and you take it off, you can't go back. So yeah, it's slightly crooked, but I am not that picky. So we're gonna go ahead and do the other side. I am honestly just lining it up with the end piece. So I guess that's my own fault for trying to eyeball it, but oh, that side looks a little better. So now we're gonna go ahead and take some off the bottom. And then you have your first bookmark. Now, like I said, I want to leave some up at the top. And then I think I'm going to try to curve the edges just a little bit, not much. And if you don't have a edge trimmer, I actually take a washi tape and a pencil, and I just kind of, you know, color out what I want to remove. But I think I gave myself a little too little amount of white space to try to do that manually. So I'll just have to round the edges myself. But yeah, we're gonna leave just a little bit at the top to punch a hole, and then we'll go ahead and do the next one. Now that we have the bookmarks, you know, cut out, you could leave it like this and create the little sprout. And I will show you guys how to crochet a little sprout, but I want to make note that I am not a perfectionist when it comes to crocheting. I just kind of crochet with the flow, and you know, it's not perfect by any means. And I could never sell my work because I just don't think that I do it well enough, you know? So we're gonna go ahead and mark out what we want to use. Now my table here is not straight, so bear with me while I adjust. We're just gonna go ahead and use a pencil here. Now this pencil of mine is literally just one that I got off of Amazon, so it's nothing special. We're gonna go ahead and cut them out individually so I can get the perfect background for each one. And let's see, where is my line? There is one. Now, if you don't have one of these things, you can totally use a pencil and just cut out what you need. So there's going to be the first bookmark, and I'm going to use a like glue tape, or yeah, I think you want to call it a glue tape for that. Maybe I can get all of them in here. I want to get the butterflies because they look so pretty. So we're gonna go from the top this time. Oh, I already have that all the way open right now. And we're just gonna go ahead and mark up this one. And I'm gonna go ahead and go do that with the rest of them as well. And so you can listen to a quiet background ambiance while I do this portion. Alrighty, so this is the permanent adhesive runner tape, or Tombow Mono tape runner in permanent adhesive. I like the permanent because then I don't have to worry about it, but I think I'm only going to do just a little bit on each one so I don't run out, because I need to buy replacements of these, but also because I just need them to stick together just enough so that I can run it through the laminator. So let's go ahead and just get these taped down, making sure that they're going the right way, in the right direction. So. Alrighty, you guys, so I got my laminator heating up right now, and I have the laminating paper here as well. So it's been a minute since I've used a laminator. I actually left it at my parents' house for quite some time, so I didn't have it, and then I actually grabbed it from my mom's or my parents' house the other day. But what I remember from this laminator is that it doesn't have a sheet to just pop through. So it tends to like move your pieces unless you have them sort of taped down. So what I'm gonna do is, since I'm going to be putting holes in the top, that's where I'm going to put just a tiny bit of the tape that I have. So hold on. Okay. And yeah, so the laminator is heating up. I hope I can fit them all in this one sheet, but if I can't, then I will just have to do another sheet. So let's see. We're gonna go ahead and take just a tiny little bit of this tape. Hopefully they stick well enough. I'm not sure. I may not even do the last one. I want to give it enough room so that it seals. How many do I have? 2 more. Okay. Maybe I'll do 3 per page. And 2 for the last one because the last one has the bigger one. That way I think they'll seal pretty good. And because they have like a slight thickness to them, I don't want it to miss anything. So these ones you'll have to cut out almost on their own, but yeah, so I got 3 on this one and we'll be putting that through as soon as my light turns green, but I'll grab another paper to do the other 2. Oh, it says it's ready now. I've had this laminator since, gosh, when I used to do TNs, because I started with TNs a long time ago, and ever since then, like, I've just held on to it, even though it never really gets used very often, but it was definitely a wonderful purchase of mine because it comes in handy. My mom will even borrow it sometimes. Oh no, I don't really want it that close to the end. There's one. I should have put the little tape on the back just in case the thing doesn't hold it, but I just need just enough tape to keep it somewhat secure while it's going in. And if you have anything else you need to laminate, go ahead and laminate it too. I don't think there's anything else I want to laminate right now. So this will be it. So we'll go ahead and stick one in. Oh, these are looking beautiful. This is also a way that people make dashboards for their planner. They just take, you know, whatever vellum or whatever they want to use as their dashboard, and then they laminate it, send it through their laminator, and boom, you have a dashboard. So this is really fun because now I have some fun bookmarks to use. I don't always love how the laminator skips, you know, like back here. So I'm going to try to send it through one more time, but going this way. I don't know if that's a normal laminator thing, but I think I only spent like $30 on this laminator way back when, and it does its job. That's all I can really ask for, is that it's doing what I want it to. And I love how the back of these pages look like, once you put the vellum on the back and it's all white, it really pops out, and honestly it looks so much brighter seeing it laminated too. So that's really fun. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off and let that cool down, and we're gonna go ahead and cut these out. Yeah, and then if you wanna make sure you just keep from popping the bubble, because there's always like a little tiny bubble right around it. You want to keep from popping that, but I'm also going to use that as a guide to cutting like rounder corners to this. So we'll just cut these out kind of willy-nilly, and then I will shape them up a little bit better when I get some time. And then the top one. Okay, there is one bookmark, and now that I've cut it out, it's kind of flattened out a little bit better, but as you can see, it's still not completely flat, and over time I think it'll flatten out. So I think it's not a bad idea. It really isn't. It'll keep your bookmark safer, and I'm really hoping that my family likes these. The girls' Auntie Cora loves to read, so she, I think, will really like this. And her birthday's coming up, so it'd be like a perfect little birthday gift. I cut too close to the edge on this one, so this one I might end up keeping and not giving away, because I don't know how well that's sealed now that I cut really close to it. So we're gonna go ahead and punch some holes right in the top there where the tape kind of is showing. But other than that, that is it. I just have a regular hole puncher, so there's nothing special about the hole puncher that I use. It's just a basic one. And then, like I said, later I will try to give you guys a tutorial on how to create the sprout little bookmark tassel that I made. I think if I can do it, anybody can do it, even if you don't know how to crochet. So I'll be right back. Obviously for you, it'll be like 2 seconds, but for me, it may be later today or later tomorrow. Who knows when I can come back to this. And yeah, we'll get going on that. I'll probably off camera just round out the edges with some scissors and go from there. I don't have a like edger cutter, whatever you want to call those. So eventually, maybe one day I'll actually own one, but for now, yeah, an edge cutter. But for now, I'm just gonna manually do it because it's just simple for me to do it at this point. It's not gonna be perfect, but hey, I'll try my hardest. Alrighty, you guys, so I just practiced a plant sprout leaf, you know, bookmark. I don't know what you want to call this. This is like a sprout tassel. I'm going to call it a sprout tassel because it would be a tassel, but it's a sprout instead. So I just practiced on this one just to make sure I had the correct like plan as far as, you know, stitches and things go. So now that I've done that, I'm going to quick show you guys how I make this sprout leaf here. So this is how I did it. I am like I wouldn't say I'm a beginner crocheter, but I definitely don't think I'm the person to be, you know, your sort of start, I guess you could say, because I don't really know all of the technical terms and everything, but I'll show you exactly how I did it, and hopefully even if you've never made something like this before, that you might still be able to recreate it. So you're going to take your yarn. This is a cotton yarn that I found from my local grocery store. You're going to wrap it around your pinky, and then you're going to wrap it around your index and your middle finger. Then you're going to go ahead and press this part down after it's been crossed over. Okay. And then you're going to take your hook, you're going to go under the first one, and you're going to pull the second one through, just like that. Okay, then you're going to angle your crochet hook out, and then you're going to twist around that first initial one. So then you'll be able to flip your hook upwards and hook this one here. Now this is the one that's attached to my pinky, okay? Not the one that I'm holding with my thumb back there. And then you're gonna go ahead and pull that one little loop through the other loop that was on your hook. So this is how I started mine. I don't know if there's a proper way for that, or if there's, I don't know. Just start it so you can start your chain, basically. So then you're going to go ahead and chain 6. Now a chain is literally taking this and going 1. So technically this first one that I did is part of your chain. So 1, 2 is what I've done so far. Then we're gonna go 3. Okay. 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now, by the way, this is a 3.75, and I believe this yarn is actually meant for like a size 4. So I actually size down when it comes to making this sprout. So then you're going to go ahead and do 3 more, but make sure you kind of know where you left off. So 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go ahead and jump back into that third one on this side. So you're not going to come onto this side, you're going to go onto the left side. So you're going to jump back into this one. Okay? And then you're going to pull it through here. Hold on. We have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So this one is going to be your slip stitch. Okay, this is going to be like the point of your leaf. Okay, and then the first one here, this next one in your line, you're going to go into it on this one side. Oh, sorry, you're going to go into it, and then you're going to wrap your hook around and pull it through. Okay, this is going to be just a regular stitch, 1 crochet. Okay, then you're going to go ahead and do a half double crochet. So you're going to wrap your hook around the yarn first before going into the next stitch. You're going to grab it, hook it, and pull through. So now you have 3 on this one, and you're going to go ahead and do another loop, and you're going to pull that loop all the way through. Now this kind of gets tricky. Sometimes I have to wiggle it back and forth just to get it to move through them, but then you're just going to pull this one through. Now I didn't mean to let go of it. Sometimes I do that, especially when you're using a smaller hook size than the yarn that you're using. So here I kind of got it all messed up now, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so then we're going to do a double crochet. So you're going to do a loop around, and then you're going to go in to that next stitch there. You're going to pull through after you grab it. Okay, and then you're going to wrap around again, and you're going to pull through just 2 of these. So then you have that loop still there and the first one, and then you're going to go ahead and wrap around and pull through one more time. So now you're slowly kind of getting that curve upwards. Okay, and then we're going to do one more double crochet. So same thing, wrap around, push through, grab a little loop, and pull through 2, and then wrap around and pull through the last 2 here. So there you got the start of a little plant leaf. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and do a half double crochet here. Now, if I have all of the words wrong, I can't remember if I've said this or not, but if I have the words wrong for some of these stitches and whatnot, I apologize in advance. I am no professional over here. I'm just showing you guys how I made these bookmarks. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead into the last one, doing a single crochet. So pull through, and then pull through both of them, and then we're going to go ahead and start from down here. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this one right here. See that loop right there? That's the one we're going to go into next. That's going to be a regular crochet again. Just one single crochet. We're just going straight across here. And we're going to be working on this end here. So you're still going to look at these as your baseline, and then you're just going to be working off these little loops here on this side. So you have your first crochet, and then you're going to do a half double crochet. So make sure when you're doing this side, make sure to pull down on your second loop, because I have noticed sometimes I will get some of your other loop in here. Could be just because I have a smaller hook size than what this yarn requires, but I'm going to go ahead and pull through all 3 of those, and then we're going to do a double crochet. Sorry if you hear my kiddos in the background and the rocking of Kobe here next to me. We're going to go ahead and do a double crochet in this one. Oop, I messed up. Okay. Yeah, I'm pulling from the wrong area. There we go. There we go. So this is your double crochet. So you had your single crochet, your half double crochet, and your double crochet. Now we're going to do one more double crochet here. It just kind of gets a little tricky here because you're trying to avoid going through the loop right in front of it or right above it. So you just have to be quite gentle with yourself, especially if you're like me and if going through a smaller hook. Okay, so now you have your 2 double crochets here. Now we're going to go ahead and do a half double crochet on this one. But as you can see right there, if it'll focus, are you going to focus? No, you're not going to focus, are you? Let's see. Focus. Okay. There is a string behind it and a string like around it. You want to go right in between those strings. Come on, focus. Okay. I lost my tension, I think. Okay. So, oh no, I was doing something totally different, I think. Okay, so that was the half double crochet there. Now we're going to go ahead and do a single crochet in this final one right here. Okay, so single crochet, and then you are going to do a slip stitch into this one and a slip stitch into the top of your leaf here to give it that broader point. Okay, so once you are at the tippy top of your leaf here, we're gonna go ahead and do some slip stitches all the way down the middle. So you're just gonna go in between each one of your stitches here and do a slip stitch, which is just basically pulling through, and that will bring you right back to the base. So you have this one here. I'm gonna go ahead, go through, pull through, and then pull through your loop, and then go again, just down the line here. Now, like I said, my leaves are not perfect. You can go to somebody else's, and I'm sure theirs will look a lot better than mine. So you could follow their directions instead if you want. But I'm still learning, you know, and it's still fun for me. So I'm okay with having it look a little janky once in a while. And then just keep going through. Oh, we had a bird just hit the window. Poor little birdie. Oh, grabbing the wrong string here. And then got one more here. If it'll let me, there we go. See if it'll let me pull through. It's a tight spot there. Okay, and now we got one more right on the end. So there, now we've created one leaf. We're gonna go ahead and copy this right next to it. So we're gonna go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna go ahead and slip stitch through this third one there that we left off on, and we're gonna go ahead and do a single crochet, and we're just gonna repeat the same process of the last leaf. So half double crochet, come on, there we go. So that's going through all 3 of them, and then a double crochet, oh, I lost some of my yarn here. There we go. So yeah, don't come to me for tutorials on how to crochet. I'm just showing you the tutorial of my sprout bookmark. This is another double crochet here. Oop, we're losing some of our yarn. And then we got a half double crochet because we're gonna go back down in size. So that's all 3 of them, and then a single crochet in this final one. Sometimes I have to pull on it to tighten it because I give myself too much slack or whatnot. Then we're gonna go ahead and go right across to the one we just did and do another single crochet. And then half double crochet. This is the part where it gets tricky because you're having to like work on a different sort of angle to get into that stitch. Okay, and then a double crochet, right? Yeah. that one, and then come on, one more, another double crochet, this side is always trickier because you're having to like angle your hook almost to go backwards to get in there the proper way. Pull that through. There we go. Okay, now what are we at? Oh, we need, this was a single. Okay, now we need, am I blanking? How many did I just do? That was a single. That was, okay, these are 2 doubles, so I need to go down to a half double crochet. Man, this is why I should not be here giving you guys a tutorial on the crocheting portion. Okay. Half double crochet. Oh, that means we gotta go through all 3 of them. And then a single, oh, I messed up. So as you can see right here, there's that tiny little string that's actually in the wrong area. It's actually meant to be part of this one, and I went through it. So I guess I don't have to be absolutely perfect about it because it's really not that big of a deal. But if this was a professional coming to my page, they'd be like, yeah, you screwed up multiple times. And I'm sure I still have, and I didn't catch them, but I'm trying to give you guys the best tutorial I possibly can. So that was oh, did I just do a double crochet too? You guys. Okay. Needless to say, this might be the only crochet tutorial you'll get from me. Because this is just something else entirely. Okay, we gotta go through all 3. Now we can go on to a single crochet. And then we're going to slip stitch into this one. And then we're gonna slip stitch one more time to get to the tippy top of this leaf. Forcing it, which means I don't think I did it right, but come on, wiggle it through. There we go. Is it absolutely perfect? No. Am I a professional? Also, no. So I think it'll be okay. We're gonna go ahead and slip stitch all the way down the middle. See how there's like little tiny holes down here? That's what we're slip stitching into. So we're pulling through. And sometimes it's easier for me if I handle it upside down. Come on, there we go. Grab the yarn and pull through. Grab the yarn, pull through. Ideally there should be, what, maybe 7 stitches total? But then you have your 8th one for the end or something like that. I just go until there's no more room left and I really don't count. So this is why I'm no professional, because I just go with the flow. and pull through. And then now we're on the final one here. And this one, I'm just going to kind of go through those two here and then a final one through here. Now this slip stitch is going to try to tie in your two leaves together. Oop, I lost it, so I gotta start over. Okay, this one is through these two loops here and plus the loop in the middle of your thing. So that one, oh, I lost it again. So that one, you know, stitch after the last leaf is the other little loop I'm going through. It gets, okay. This is just not the right angle for me, I guess. There we go, see? Sometimes it helps when you change your angle. Okay, so now that both my leaves are kind of facing the same way, you can go ahead and create a slip stitch or a chain stitch, and you can chain all the way down so that you get the look, you know, going through it. But I want to mention that if you go all the way down, you might only want to go all the way down until you hit, you know, how high you want to, because here I ran into the same problem. If you chain stitch too much, and I don't know how to explain it. What I'm gonna do for this one to maybe make things easier is I'm going to just create a chain long enough to get me through that loop, the hole, I guess you could say. So if I only want like maybe 4 or 5 chains, right? Because I want it to be just about like that through it. And then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna tie it with just a little bit of string. That way it's not so bulky through your book or your planner or whatever you're using it for. So for me, it'll be for a book because I am going to use this as a reading one. Give me enough. Okay, so here's that loop that I left off on, and you're just going to pull the last of your string through that. Maybe. Okay, so don't worry about the string. We're gonna hide that later, but now we can go ahead and pull it through, and I wanna pull it through at the front so that way I can make it look front facing here. Let me get rid of my stuff so that it looks like that, right? And then you're going to take the leftovers from the back here and just tie a knot through this. So if you need more string, make sure you grab yourself some more string. But basically, you're just tying yourself a little knot in here. Now, I am no professional, so don't come at me if I'm tying this wrong. But just tie yourself a little knot right around this. I might have to do one more. It's a little difficult when you don't have two, you know, strings to pull through to tie, but you could take this string here and, you know, thread it through to get to this end and then really tie it to really secure it, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. So let's do that real quick, and then oop, there's some extra yarn. Let's go ahead and put this in. This way you don't have to worry about this kind of unraveling either on you. I'm just gonna go ahead and figure out where I am. We're gonna go through here, through this one, and we're just gonna go down this chain here. Let me pull it through first.
Okay, we're just gonna be hiding this thread throughout this stem. And honestly, you probably won't even notice that it doesn't look absolutely perfect. Okay, so once we get it to about right here, we can use this and this to tie it a true knot, so you don't see that anymore. And that is how you create a bookmark or little sprout bookmark. Now you can go ahead and cut this right here, or you can thread it back through and hide it in the back side here. As you can see, this is my back side, this is my front side, and then you won't see the strings, which is what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm just gonna hide it and then I'll cut it off eventually. But that is your sprout bookmark. All right, everybody, so I have all of them complete, just like I showed you guys at the very beginning. I think it took me about, I wanna say I started this at like maybe 10 in the morning, and then I worked all the way up until just about dinner time. So I apologize if you hear my youngest in the back. I do not know if she will be quiet for me, so maybe I'll have to do a voiceover for this part. But I really like how they turned out, and obviously they're not all perfect, but I do think they kind of have some quirkiness to them. So I think you definitely should try this at home. Like I said, this crochet tutorial was super easy. I don't think that it's a really hard one to try and do, but if you're new to crocheting, then it may be just a little bit difficult. But crocheting really isn't super hard. It did take me a little bit, and when somebody shows me how to do things, I think it ends up being a little easier for me to try it on my own, because then I'm a little more apt to succeeding. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments if you are planning on trying this bookmark tutorial, or if you're just gonna make regular bookmarks altogether and not the sprout. Yeah, I don't know. I think this one is really fun. I'm obsessed. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.